courts are willing to do anything and to hurt anyone to get their way, like they're doing with Judge Kavanaugh.
So that was just a few moments ago at the rally in Tennessee. And over the past couple of weeks, we've all heard a lot about this issue. We've talked a lot about it. And I have heard from many moms of sons who say that their fear is that if this Brett Kavanaugh nomination goes down, it could reflect badly on the process and due process, and that could be in jeopardy. And if that's where this is headed, what should parents say to their children? How should they teach them about all of this? It is a very hot topic because I've heard a lot on both sides on this. So we brought in a panel of moms raising young men and young women. Welcome to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us
here. This idea that moms of sons worry that perhaps if their son is innocent in the current environment, he may not have a chance at fairness. Does that ring true for any of you?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Let's start here.
Well, it does. I mean, because we're looking at this, right? And I had my son to sit and watch most of the Kavanaugh hearing. And as I said to him, as parents, we're always trying to admonish our children to live exemplary lives. Well, here we have Judge Kavanaugh, who has lived an exemplary life. And up until 3 weeks ago, he was known as a judge's judge. And now Democrats are trying to convince us that he has lived an unblemished life, except for those 2 years he was running around town drugging and gang raping women. And it just is foolish and based on what? Uncorroborated evidence. Here is a woman who has made a charge against this particular judge, and she can't even really remember what happened 2 months ago. When asked whether or not she gave her therapy notes to Washington Post, she couldn't remember. Well, that was just 2 months ago, and it's not tied to the rape, and yet you still can't remember?
You have a boy and a girl, and talk to me a little bit about what you would say to them about, just imagine for a moment that your son is accused of something like this, and you feel that he's innocent.
Well, I can speak as a mom, but I'm also happen to be a criminal defense lawyer, and this is not a criminal trial. No. It's a nomination for a Supreme Court, the highest court in the nation, and there has to be a probing process. This is a judge where a conservative majority is now at the Supreme Court, and this judge will have the opportunity to...
But let me, as a mom, because how would you feel if you felt your son was falsely accused? Because you're very familiar with the criminal process. You look at, for instance, the Duke case or UVA. There are times, and it's not the majority of times, but there are times when this happens. Does that concern you as a mom of a young boy?
Well, first, as a mother, I would want there to be due process. I would want to make sure that there was a thorough investigation. Right. I would want to make sure that every witness was interviewed. That's not happening here. Right.
So that's all that I was saying in this tweet that got a lot of people fired up, that wouldn't you want to know that he was being treated fairly?
And this is not fair.
But I'm a mother of a daughter, and
so am I.
No,
absolutely.
But no. We've watched this unfold. He has not been treated fairly. As you said, this guy didn't fall out of the sky. He's risen to the top, investigation after investigation. We know who he is. His only crime is that he was nominated by our president, and that's what it is.
So if he's completely above reproach, then why not go through another investigation?
Because the goal of Democrats is not for the truth. If the truth is what Democrats was looking at, then I want to know where are the Democrats on Keith Ellison dragging his girlfriend across.
All right, let's I want to hear from Danielle, and then I want to hear from Melissa, too. Danielle, go ahead.
Absolutely. I think this is a great teachable moment for all of our children, right? For our boys to live a life that is above reproach and to have this investigation. And absolutely, I mean, then go through that investigation, but also for the women, for our daughters, to know that we believe you and this may have happened to you and we want to investigate this and so that they can come forward. They can feel safe coming forward, right?
That's exactly the way I feel. Is right now my focus is on Dr. Ford. She came out speaking and sharing her life. She didn't have to do that, but something about this triggered what happened to her.
She doesn't know how she got there. She doesn't know how she left. She doesn't even know where it occurred. And all of a sudden, listen, as a woman, we deserve to be heard. We deserve to be believed.
Go ahead. Right.
But as a mom who has, I've gone through
something like this. You have 2 boys and 2 girls.
2 boys and 2 girls, and I've gone through a similar past. There are things that just your brain just suppresses and it comes out later on in life.
You know,
and
the way I
because
look at
you
it
just
is-
want to go through life and then it comes out.
Yeah.
So there's
And I completely
two sides to
understand
this.
that. And to your situation, I completely understand that. And we want to, I believe women should be heard. Everyone should be heard. But I also believe that we are not to be believed simply because we're women. In this country, we are a land of law. We are a land of law.
All right, let me hear from Stephanie. We're running.
Why are we having this conversation? This is the same way the Democrats have done forever, dealing from the bottom of the duck. Anita Hill, we've seen this before. It's the same thing. It is totally. This man is a constitutionalist. That's a check against him. And you mentioned that right away. Oh, this means that he's going to. We don't know. He's going through the process. As you said, Kathy, the judge. Everybody loved him until he was nominated by Donald Trump, and all of a sudden, anybody associated with Trump.
Let me just say one thing about the issue of justice, which is supposed to be blind.
Right.
So to me, that means you look at the evidence, regardless of gender. I don't believe all women, and I don't believe all men.
Yeah. Amen.
I want to look at what happened and ask to treat these two people fairly. Every one of these situations is different.
Yes.
It's not a big sweep where all women are telling the truth. All men are not.
We have Democrats who have come out and said, without even meeting Dr. Ford, that they believe her.
Right.
I got to leave it there.